Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Yanek show. Yes, I am back. I ain't going nowhere, motherfucker. Welcome back to the Yanek show, episode 34. I hope that you're doing well, mate. How's it going, lad? Are you doing all right there, mate? And hold on, you're gonna ask me, but Mike, what is happening with your smooth, sexy voice? Your voice sounds a little bit different today. What is happening? Well, the reason for my voice to be a little bit off today is no, I haven't been sick. No, I haven't been eating too much ice cream. The reason is because recently I did my first stand-up comedy gig. Oh yes, I am back, baby. Woo! A few days ago, I had my comeback gig, and I haven't done stand-up in 5 months. And it was fucking insane. It was so much fun, and I saw all my mates, and it was like in a pub. It was a very rowdy, crazy pub. So I needed to shout a little bit more because it was insane. So that's why my voice was kind of crazy. And, I was just excited. And when I'm excited, when I see people, I go like, wow. And I'm going to give you all the juicy details. And also I'm going to put like a little clip of my little snippet of my performance if you haven't seen it yet on my social media. But bro, I got the buzz. You know what I'm saying? It's like this little addiction that you have as a comedian. And bro, I have it back, man. Oh, I cannot wait. And I actually have another gig coming up, and I'm gonna tell you the date in a few minutes so you can come and you can see me. Ho ho ho. So let's start now. It was last. So hold on. It was a few days. Oh, it was on Saturday. So last Saturday on the hold on. Sorry about that. Let me see what day it is. On the 15th. So on the 15th of August, I had a gig, and so it was in Bootle, which is like near Liverpool. It's like a neighborhood. For me, it's a neighborhood of Liverpool. Okay, if you ask somebody local, there's gonna be a fight. Like, don't say that Bootle is fucking Liverpool, mate, and that type of stuff. But for me, it's just like a neighborhood in Liverpool, and it was like a local pub. It was an indoor event because they just reopened. Like indoor events were allowed from the 15th, and so we went straight away. And it was 10 comedians, mate, because it was the venue was jam packed with people, and it was like 10 comedians, and I was like, fucking hell, mate. So they put me last because they had the first three comedians were like more experienced act. They did about 15-20 minutes each, and I know them. They're great people, and they've been going for like 4 or 5 years, each, and I've been going only for 7 months. So I was in the open mic section, which was the second part, which is completely insane, and I went last. So I did about, I don't know, 5-6 minutes because it was like 5 minute slot. And I'm gonna show you the little video. The little snippet is like 40-50 seconds. And let's roll the material now. I was speaking with one of my English friends recently, and I said to her, you know what, I've been living in this country for almost 10 years now. I feel very integrated. I feel part of the culture. I feel British. And she said, no, you're not born here and you're not British enough. So I just said to her, no, you know what, I am British enough. When I go to a Chinese restaurant, I order chips. What's more British than that? I hope and pray for a warm and sunny day, but if the temperature hits above 25 degrees, I complain as a motherfucker. What's more British than that? When I was in Spain last summer, what's more British than that? When I was in Spain last summer, I spoke to all the locals only in English, and since nobody understood me, what did I do? Did I try to learn some Spanish? No, I just spoke English louder and slower. Okay, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Did you enjoy the video? Woo! You've probably seen it on my social media. But yeah, I did a lot of I did 5 minutes, but I did about 2-3 minutes of new material, and I did a few old bits, and I'm showing you the old bit, because if you want to see the new material, you have to come and see me live. Oh, but Mike, hold on. When is your next gig, Mr. Mike Yanek? Well, I'll tell you. The next gig is, hold on, time for some self-promotion. Woo! Okay, the next gig is on the 29th of August. Okay, it's in the same pub, which is called The Lock and... What is that word? Q-U-A-Y. What does that mean? Q-I. QA, whatever the fuck. So the lock in the QA, Saturday, 29th of August, Boothel. The postcode is L24AH, 8:30 in the evening. The show starts. There will probably be 3 comedians at the front, more experience, and there's going to be open mic section, I think. I think it's a free entry. I'm not sure, or maybe a bucket split, which means at the end you can put whatever you feel that, you feel that you want to give about the regarding the show that you just saw. But hey, if you're a stingy bastard, you can just leave 5 minutes before they come to collect the bucket, you know what I'm saying? I've seen people do that, you fucking bastards. You know what I mean? But I think it's free, and you can go, you can enjoy a drink, and you can shout at comedians. No, don't shout at comedians, be polite, But this is what happened, right? So I got the gig, and we did like a little car share with some of my mates, and we went there, and I first thought that there's going to be like in the back garden, because there was like this big garden, it was getting a bit cold. But then they said, we're gonna be inside, and they had the stage. So it's very weird, like, the actual pub used to be a house. You know what I mean? Like a big house. Because when you look outside, it looks like a residential stuff. You know what I mean? Some pubs are like that in this country. Like, they used to be houses, not like built specifically. Or maybe it was specifically built, but it looked like old house. They even had one. Where is the bar? I had a look. They had like the little, how they have the basement, and they kind of opened this trap door, and there's like a basement, and where they keep all the beer and stuff. That was fucking awesome. And architectures of pubs are very interesting in this country. And so we went there, and the stage, because I think they do karaoke and that type of stuff quite often, there was an actual stage with like an actual screen behind you. They had a microphone. It was like a very professional setting. But the problem was, like, the stage was over there, the bar is on the other side, and like so when you're on stage, the audience, like, right in front of you is the bar, like literally a few meters away is the bar. So the audience is like separated on both sides. So when you talk to the audience, you need to do constantly, like, you need to go like this, like, like. I've done much worse. Like, I've been to some places where there was like fucking insanity, but it was a bit weird. You know what I mean? But for me, it's okay because I move a lot as well. So I just move. I shout at these people. I do a few steps. I shout at these people, back and forth. And there was even some people that they've seen me gigged before in that area, so they're like my little fan club. So that was nice to see them. They were supporting me. Woo! They were my number one fans, and they came after the gig, and we chatted and all that stuff. It was very fun, and but it was a very, very robust crowd because, the lockdown has been going for 4 or 5 months, and people, they just want to have fun, and they just want to get pissed and shout at each other and whatever. And the problem was that usually in pubs and big pubs, what you have is you have like these separate rooms, and they're literally rooms, you know what I mean? And quite often when we do comedy in pubs, you will have a room where the gig is going to be. So that means when you go there, and you can do the little gig, but the people the locals who go there all the time, right? They can be in peace in the other rooms or whatever, and they can listen to music, they can shout at each other, talk, drink, play pool, whatever it is. But sometimes in some pubs you don't have that space. So literally the comedy is in the only place where, like, the bar is, you know what I mean? So if it was on a Saturday night, and you had some people who didn't want to be there for the comedy, they just want to be there to get pissed and shout at each other. So there was like these older people at the back, they were literally like shouting at each other, because we were there with a microphone and everybody's laughing and it's loud, and it was a bit disruptive, you know what I mean? But I look at it from their perspective as well, because I cannot be like, hey, shut the fuck up, you know what I mean? Like, it's their pub, and it's like Saturday night, the guy is not obliged to listen to my stupid stories or whatever. So yeah, you needed to, be very vocal, and there was people non-stop moving back and forth. Dude, I go on stage, right? And I'm on stage, and here on the right side, there is like 2 tables and like a lobby, like a little couch, and on the back is like this huge couch, like next to the wall, and like little like tables in front of it, little chairs, right? And on the other side is again 2 tables, even 2 or 3 tables, and the big couch on the wall again, right? So I'm sitting here, I'm on stage, and the first table, there was like these three girls, fucking fit, bro. I'm telling you, fucking fit. It's not my fucking fault, okay? And they have all the dresses, the tits are out, they all fucking. I think they've been to Spain because they all had like sunburn because white girls, but they all like red in the face, in the chest, and fucking everything. I think they've been either to like tanning beds, or the weather was quite nice recently. They've been to the beach or to Spain or something, so like fucking red as lobsters. But they're fit, bro. They're fucking fit. You know what I'm saying? And they're all sexy and shit. But these girls didn't shut the fuck up the whole time. Not only when I was on stage, like throughout the whole gig. Because they're just there and they're like, oh, so what did you do this week? And how did you see this show? And the person is right here because we were 10 comedians. And they didn't shut the fuck up the whole time. And the thing with some comedians are like, when it's, I don't know, it really depends sometimes. If it's because I'm a nerdy guy, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like, you wouldn't see me in a nightclub surrounded with good-looking women. That's not my scene. You know what I mean? So when you have some nerdy comedians like me, they usually don't. I don't know. They're kind of like intimidated because they're good-looking women, and they're kind of intimidated to fucking snap back at them unless they heckle them. But I don't give a fuck, bro. You know what I mean? Like. I don't give a shit. So I'm just doing like 2 minutes in or whatever. People are laughing and stuff. But, when you have the pauses or when you do transition between bits, there's like few seconds of like a second of just quiet. And I can hear them. They're so fucking loud. Oh, so that today, baby. Oh, did you see Angela's new tattoo on her tits? Or whatever the fuck. A stupid shit. And I literally, because like the table, the stage was not that, the stage was at the level of the tables, you know what I mean? And I'm quite flexible and stuff, so I literally just went over and just slapped on the table as they were talking, and I was like, hey, gossip queen, shut the fuck up. Everybody's laughing. What the fuck's wrong with you? You know what I mean? I've done this so many times, by the way. Like, oh, don't get me started, bro. Slapping on tables and telling people to shut the fuck up. It's a miracle somebody didn't kick my ass, you know what I mean, at these gigs. Because I don't give a fuck. Bro, I'm 5'5". I have no idea how to fight, right? I cannot run fast anymore because I'm old as fuck, okay? I bruise easily, right? You can kick everybody, like 95% of the population in this country can probably kick my ass, you know what I'm saying? But when I'm on stage, I don't give a fuck, bro, okay? If you want to beat me up after the gig. I don't give a shit. I'll take a beating, okay? Probably if we film it, it will go viral, you know what I'm saying? Like, comedian got attacked. That gets a lot of views, bro. You know what I'm saying? And from now on, I'm filming all my gigs. So I'll bring you snippets of the gig and maybe like little vlogs, and I'll try to do more content for the YouTube channel and my social media and stuff. So make sure to subscribe to the Mike Yanek Show. Click the subscribe button now, and follow me on the social media. I'll be posting stuff there. That will get a lot of clicks, by the way. If I'm on stage and somebody fucking whacks me in the face as I'm doing my stupid shit, dude, So Jim Jefferies, like, if you're a comedy fan, you know who Jim Jefferies is. But if you're like a casual fan, let me tell you. So Jim Jefferies is like this Australian comedian, and he's like super provocative, and he's been, he's very famous in Australia. But I think it was in 2000 and maybe 2010 or something, like 10 years ago. I'm not sure. So he's been very famous in Australia, did a few DVDs and tours, but he wasn't like worldwide famous, you know what I mean? And he did a gig in the Comedy Store, I think in London or something, or in Manchester, I'm not sure. And apparently the video is online, you can find it after we finish this podcast, motherfucker. Don't leave this podcast now. And he was doing apparently an Irish joke or something, or maybe somebody heckled him, I'm not sure. And because the video that I saw didn't actually, there was a guy lunging in on stage and just wham, just like a big fella, just like a rugby player, just boof, right in the kisser, you know what I'm saying? Just and he like was like, oh fucking hell, and they tackled the guy. It was a fucking insane story, and that went viral. And when people heard about him, this is how I heard about him, by the way. Like, I was watching like a show back in the day, and I heard a podcast or whatever. And somebody said, "Oh, Jim Jeffrey, the guy who got punched," and I was like, "What? Comedian got punched on stage?" And I just googled it. This is how I heard about him. And then when you look at his body of work, and you're like, "Oh, fucking hell, this guy's actually really good." You know what I mean? But I think now he was doing like the Jim Jeffrey show or something. I think he's still touring. I mean, he used to be super controversial and super edgy. I don't think he does like that much of a edgy comedy now. I'm not sure. I don't follow his new work, but that will go and sing. That being said, don't sucker punch me or something on a gig just because you think, "Oh, Mike, I saw your show," and you wanted somebody to fucking punch you in the stupid face so you can go viral. And but yeah, it was a fun gig. It was a very, very fun gig. I did enjoy it. Um, But yeah, I like these difficult gigs. It was a tough gig coming back, but it was funny. Like when I went on stage, it felt like I did it 2 days ago. You know, it felt very nice. It didn't feel like, "Oh my god, I forgot my material. I don't know what I'm doing." Blah blah blah. So it was very nice. So yeah, come and see me in 2 weeks' time on the 29th of August, same place. You know, I'll post again. I'll post here right now. I'll post the information. Come and see me. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna do the little vlogs this time because I'm still learning how to edit and how to film and all that stuff. I wanna bring you a lot of content, and I'm still, buying little gears and fucking tripods and all that shit. And I will. And also, if you see the gig, after the gig, I'm gonna talk. If you approach me like, "Oh, mate, I like your gig," blah blah blah, I'll probably ask you like, "Is it okay? I'm doing like a little clip of this whole thing to film you, and I'll film you. We can have a few jokes, and I can be like, what did you think of the show? Did you enjoy it? All that type of stuff." And you probably see like little interactions with other comedians. I'm gigging that night, so it's gonna be fun. Subscribe to the channel and make sure you look out for the videos. Okay, so. Yeah, but that being said, I'm very, very excited, and I am looking forward to going back to comedy full time, properly, and fucking yes, 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 I am back, baby. And slowly but surely, more gigs will appear, and the more the restriction will ease. I think if there's not a second lockdown, because the atmosphere, at least in Liverpool, I don't know how it's in other cities. I haven't traveled, but here when you go outside, it doesn't it feels completely normal. The only thing is, like, when you go to some places, they'll wear a mask, or like you need to put the little gel. That's completely fine, but besides that, that's not an inconvenience for me. Wear your fucking mask, guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see all these anti-maskers idiots, just arguing. I have a little segment called "Those Goddamn Karens," and I'm going to do like the little, Karen compilations and people losing their mind. But it's gonna be in the next episode. I'll probably do like a full episode only reviewing Karen videos or whatever. But yeah, it feels quite nice. Like, everything feels back to normal. So I believe that in a few months it's going to be like back in the day. You completely even forget that there was a pandemic, and that's it. So yeah. Oh, let me tell you something. Because I have 13 minutes left. I, let me see. Because I wanted to do Would You Rather, but I want to tell you a little story that happened to me the other day. So, as a man who is in a new relationship, look, the thing is, I haven't been in a relationship in ages. You know what I mean? I've dated here and there, and been out and disappointed a few women throughout throughout the years. But I haven't been in a serious relationship in ages, like a few years now. And so recently I am in about 2 months now. And the thing is, I don't really know how to boyfriend. You know what I mean? I have no idea how to do that. And my stupid ass was thinking like, "Oh, let's do a little dinner date." So I was offering my missus like a few days ago. I saw this program Eat Out to help out, which is 50% off Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, for the month of August. I talked about it more extensively in the previous episode. If you haven't seen that, go and check it out after this episode. And so I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna take you out on a nice dinner date, okay? Because it's 50% off, and we haven't had a dinner date because we met at lockdown, and we've been out and about, but we have never had actual dinner date." And she was like, "Oh my god, you're so cute, you're so great," women shit, and I'm out there, bro. Was the expression "cock of the walk," and I'm just fucking like peacocking like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, "Yeah, boy, I'm just out there walking with my big medals as number one boyfriend on the planet, and I'm like, yeah, what's happening right now? You know what I mean? I'm just like that. And but I had no idea what an absolute disaster this idea of a dinner date will turn out to be. Oh my god. Okay, so I saw this on a Monday, like last Monday or whatever. Yeah, and I was like, yeah, no problem. And I'm being cocky. What type of food do you want to eat? Tell me. And she's like, oh, let's do this, let's do that. And I have like a list of restaurants, and I was like, I have like 6 restaurants or whatever. You choose, okay? But listen, but what I didn't put in perspective is, and we're going on Wednesday, right? Because the idea is we want to save money on the eat and help out. 50% off. That's the idea, okay? What I didn't put in perspective is that in this country, people love a bloody bargain, including me, okay? So, mate, I started out looking for restaurants like one after the next, calling them. Some of them didn't even pick up, they were so busy. Checking the reservations online. Everything's booked, mate. Everything is completely booked. I don't know, for the next 2-3 weeks or whatever. And I was like, and it's booked only Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Everything's empty. You know what I mean? Because people want to bargain. And I called 7 restaurants, couldn't find anything. Okay, nothing. And I was like, what the hell, bro? And then I did a huge mistake. I was like, you know what? Why don't you? Because so my neighborhood is quite nice. I'll be honest with you. Like, it's not that I'm rich or anything, but my neighborhood is very nice. And when you go a bit down, maybe like 10 minutes walk or whatever, it's like a business area, which is like the main road, and they have so many like little restaurants, coffee shops. It's lovely, especially when it's good weather. Like the summer, oh, it's all lush and green. You know what I mean? There's no junkies overdosing. You know what I mean? There's no dodgy people trying to, I don't know, to rob your car, or I don't know, whatever the hell. You know what I mean? Sorry. Hey, there's some sketchy neighborhoods in this city, okay? And I've been to them, so it is what it is. I've lived in bro. I lived in London, okay, and I've lived in some sketchy neighborhoods when I first arrived in this country, okay. So I know what's up. You know what I mean? I know now all the people are like, oh my god, Mike, that's so offensive. How do you do that? Listen, I've lived in the shit neighborhood. I know what's happening over there. You know what I'm saying? You haven't lived in those neighborhoods, so don't lecture me. I like how I'm arguing. I'm all by myself in this room, and I always like come up with this imaginary person to argue with. That's so funny. Anyway, so I said to her, you know what? There's like a really nice part of my neighborhood where they have all the little romantic, cheeky restaurants. Let's go there. It's my neighborhood. It's not town. You know what I mean? Let's go. And when did we went? We went on what is it, like a Wednesday or yeah, on Wednesday. So I was like, who the hell is going to go out on a restaurant on a Wednesday? You know what I mean? And she came over at 6 o'clock. I was like, don't even think about it. And I'm so confident that we're gonna find a place that I'm just like, what type of food do you want? Do you have any? Anyway, so we start looking, mate. Oof, it doesn't. There is queues outside. So I'm walking so it's like one very long street, like super long, maybe like a kilometer or 2 kilometers long, main street, and they have all the stuff there. Mate, I'm just looking, and I can show the restaurants right next to each other. There's like queues, like a nightclub. You know when they have the long queue in the nightclub, and all the women, by the way, are dressed like they're going on a night out in my bloody neighborhood, bro. Come on, And I'm just like, oh my god, what the hell is happening? One place busy, second place busy. There was a place. Some of the places they even say we don't even have. Can we wait for a table? They said no, bookings only. And they was like, we're completely booked for the month. When it comes to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I was like, Jesus Christ. So we're walking. There's so many people, mate. Like, so many people. Everybody's hungry, and it's warm, bro. It's bloody 27 degrees or whatever, which for here it's a lot because it doesn't get very warm here, and it's very moist, so it feels a lot, and you're not used to hot weather here. So when it hits 27, it feels like 29, and you feel like you're gonna die, because there's only sun, there's no clouds, and it's not usually it's not windy, so it's a nightmare, and I hate summer. I talked about it in the previous episode, right? Mate, everything's busy. Now, there's one restaurant. So we passed one restaurant. It looked almost half empty. And I was like, what's happening here? So we go and there's like a little. Every go these restaurants now, they have a big sign that says, please wait here to be seated, which is fair enough. Most restaurants do that. But now what they do is they have like this. This place had, the hazmat tape, the yellow and the black tape. So everything was taped, on the ground around. So they had a sign around the sign. They had the black tape. The actual sign on the edges had black hazard tape. Or next to it, there's like this station with fucking napkins, toilet papers, kitchen towels, hand sanitizers, sprays so you can spray down stuff. And this woman comes over. She has a mask. She has a butcher's coat, like those big plastic ones that covers your whole body. She has a helmet like riot police and gloves on. And I'm like, what the hell? And she has like a what's it, paper and notepad or whatever. And I'm just like, what the hell's happening? I've never been to a restaurant in the last. I've not been in the last 5 months, so I didn't know about that. And I'm just like, what the hell's happened? It felt like I'm going into like just the front part. When you go inside, it feels completely like a normal restaurant, but the front part literally felt like a hospital or a pharmacy or something. You know what I mean? Like I'm waiting for a fucking prescription. Give me that Viagra, man. I need to get my dick hard. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no Viagra. I'm 30 years old. Hey, recently, I have a birthday on the 18th of September, so I'm gonna be 31. Fucking hell, I'm getting old, bruh. Getting an old geezer. Anyway, so we go there, we sit down, right? Now, the thing is about this program on the restaurants, when you go to the website menus, when you call them, nobody even mentions this program anywhere. So I didn't even know what time is available, how does it work, no bloody idea, you know what I'm saying? So we sit down, right? And we start looking at the menu, and I'm thinking, fucking hell, man, this is expensive. Fucking, for me, listen, I'm a peasant, bro, okay? I'm a peasant. I haven't worked for 5 months. What do you expect? Okay, for me that's expensive. Like, come on, it was like a dish or whatever, 17, 18, 19 quid for a dish. I mean, come on. I'm gonna have some sides as well, maybe a soup or whatever, a bit of bread. That's like 40 quid. And I'm just looking at this, and my girlfriend, she's just like, and I'm thinking like, do you want to go somewhere else, or what do you think? Like, it doesn't, and the atmosphere was not that good in this place. And we were literally seated next to the bar, and I hate when they put you next to the bar. Literally, when you turn around, always is like this massive bar and just waitresses and drunk people back and forth. But I hate that. Put me somewhere in a corner, not next to the toilet. Okay, let's be honest here. Put me in the corner when I'm a bit isolated, but I still feel the ambience. You know what I mean? I don't want to be next to the toilet, next to the bar, or next to the entrance. Okay, no, don't put me there. I've even said sometimes, when you walk in and they're like, oh, have this table, they seat you. Sometimes I said, no, can we sit somewhere else? I don't like this table. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm paying, baby. I'm the customer. Customer's always right. Unless you're wrong, okay? Because I've worked in the hospitality business for many years, and I can tell you that sometimes you bastards are not right. You're never right, okay? There's some crazy people out there. You saw those Karens? Karens never right. They're crazy. Okay? So we sit down and she says to me, it's okay. I mean, you're paying. You decide. And I was like, you know how they do that little song stop? Like, hold on, what? And that meme, and everybody's like, what? Sound stops. Like, hold on. And everybody's turn around. And I was like, hold on, what? And she's like, well, yeah, you're paying. You invited me. And I'm like, and I'm thinking in my head, and I'm starting to sweat by this point, by the way, because it was warm, and I was like, oh shit, there's gonna be a fucking scandal here. And she just came back from work very hungry. So she was a little bit moody, okay, let's be honest. She was a little bit moody, okay, and I didn't like that, She's gonna give me I'm gonna get in so much trouble. When she sees this, she'll be like, Mike, I heard you talk shit about me on the podcast, you motherfucker. She doesn't sound like that, fortunately. Anyway, and I'm thinking like, hold on, what I'm thinking to myself, oh fuck, here we go, and I'm doing the math straight away. So if she has hey bro, sorry man, I come from a poor background. I grew up broke and poor in Bulgaria, bro, which is real poverty, not like in this country. You know what I mean? So I grew up in real poverty, so I'm very like frugal. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know that was the agreement. And I'm thinking like, man, if she orders like a normal dish, which is like a burger and chips, 17 quid, even only that. And if I order the same, that's like 40 quid. And I'm not paying 40 quid, fuck that. And then I was like, but okay, they have the 50%. That's 20 quid. 20 quid is okay, So I just asked him, sorry, just to ask you, do you do the 50% off? And we're seated by this point. The waitress sits us, they give us menu, they're like, I'll be back in a few minutes. And she's like, oh, no, sorry, we don't do that. And then my girlfriend looks at me and I'm like, oh, fuck, there's no way I'm paying 40 quid. And she's like, do you need a minute? And I was like, yeah, I think we need a minute. So the waitress left and I'm out there profusely sweating and I'm starting to do this like, fucking hell. I'm hyperventilating. And I was like, shit, that's so embarrassing. And she's looking at me like, what are we doing now, Mr. Big Spender? And I was like, shit, she's hungry as fuck. And if we leave, we're going to have such a scandal. You know what I mean? And I was just like, yeah, do you want to leave? Blah, blah, blah. So we left eventually. And we started talking about, the whole paying thing. And I was like, but hold on, we're dating for 2 months. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, if a guy pays, right? It's only on the first date when you meet. That's it. We're dating for 2 months. We've been to each other's houses. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, every time I'm gonna pay when I ask you out? Like, what the fuck? But then she was like, oh, because it's a first date and blah blah blah. So then I was like, yeah, actually that makes sense. But yeah, I embarrassed myself so fucking much. But hey, we have a reservation for this coming week, to be honest with you. So yeah, we're actually going to actually do that dinner date, and I'll have to pay, and I'll pay because it's 50% of this time, so I'll pay for it. Fuck it, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. I didn't know. Okay, hey, I haven't a boyfriend in fucking ages. I hope that you enjoyed this little story and my little misadventures in the dating world. But anyway, come and see me in 2 weeks, and I'm going to be doing way more content for you fellas in the next few weeks and months and all that stuff. And yeah, thanks for the support and I'm happy with my social media now. It's slowly growing. Not the YouTube is not growing that well, but the Instagram and Facebook is going well. So I'll actually start posting episodes there as well because they get more views than YouTube, but I'll still keep YouTube, That's about it. Okay, mate, I have some other stuff planned for next week, and I'll see you there. And enjoy the rest of your week. I'll speak to you next week. Have a nice day. Bye, bye, bye.